Okay, this is an overview of the PandaPick'em bonus. I'm just going to go over the intro animation and kind of explain where things are in the prefab. The name of the prefab is Pick'em Bonus. So we'll start here, and then we'll have the background fade in with the Pick'em text, and it'll disappear, and then we'll have um, the money panel come in from above and just drop down like so. Okay, so at this point we're actually also going to have some particles that just come on out and do a little dance, and then when they stop I have these bursts that turn on and off, and these are going to be our picking items. Okay, and so for orb 1 and orb idle 1 and the burst, I have them turning on in the animation, and hopefully they'll just turn on and play at the appropriate time. If these get in your way, just feel free to delete their properties. That's easy enough to do. Like if it causes a performance issue or something, turning that many particles on at once might cause a problem, but I just put it there mostly for reference for the programmer. So we'll do this. So so smoke line 1, once that stops, not 9, number 1, so that's going to stop up here in the upper left hand corner, and at that point I have these two guys turn on, or burst 1 and or idle 1, and they'll just turn on like that and become active. Orb burst 1 dissipates over time, and then I have orb idle 1 on loop, so it just sits there as a picking item. But before I go any further, I just want to go over the actual panel, the money panel that came in from above. So that is right down here, multiplier picks, and actually it's called money panel, sorry. So that has a sparkle on it. We can turn off looping for that if you want, otherwise it just stays on the whole time. We've got our money amount and a fire border that comes on, and we can play that the whole time, I think. If it's causing performance issues, I suggest just turning off looping, just have it play for a second or two. So multiplier picks remaining, that's all this stuff's on here. We have a text sparkle that needs to turn on. I have it moving in the intro animation, so it's just a nice little sparkle thing for the multiplier, showing that it's special. And then on the multiplier itself, we can have that, and then I have a burst, which I'll go over when you trigger that later. And I think that's all the particles for the panel. Alright, a lot of stuff. So our title, that comes in, and then at this point we'll have all the orbs lit up like so. Looks like I forgot to turn off looping for these guys. So turn that off. Well, I'll fix that. Anyway, these guys will be turned off, and these guys will be on. So in each one of these, actually don't worry about that. All I got to worry about is just having these turned on. And then we have the multiplier and the money for each orb numbered accordingly. If you want to instantiate that in a different way, be my guest. I'm just putting this stuff in here for reference. Mostly for reference. So alright, let's just go over the money real quick. Whoop, sorry. So in the money group, we have a different animation from the multiplier group. It just scales up like so. And then we have an idle and an exit. And it just scales out. And we have a particle for when it comes in. So the idea is to play the orb burst like so. The money comes in, and then if there's a multiplier up here, say x3, that'll turn on and kind of slam down right on top of the money. And I have an idle and exit if you need it, but I don't know how many frames we'll need for that, so we might just have it slam down, just do an exit, which is just a fade. And as soon as it slams down on the entrance for the multiplier, so like I said, it comes down, and then I have a burst right here. And then the green money gets multiplied. So there's another instance where there is no money. Some of these orbs will have the multiplier just come in. We'll use the same animation for that. But instead of multiplying our winnings, this multiplier that you win can potentially add to the multiplier that's already existing. It might be an x0, it might be an x3. So if x3 plus x3 is x6, this will need the x3 will need to change to a 6, right? So to show how that's different from multiplying winnings, we're adding to our multiplier. We will kind of recycle our effect here. The smoke, we'll go to smoke lines. So smoke line 1 in this case will, sorry. I'll need the programmer to move this particle. I set each one of these smoke line particles on each position of the orb. If you want to do that a different way, be my guest. Again, this is just for illustration purposes. Do what's easiest for you. And then this shoot off here, hit this multiplier, and then we'll do that burst that I was talking about earlier on the multiplier, which is in the panel group. So we'll go to money panel, and
hey, how's it going?
inside of multiplier picks remaining, you'll find a multiply burst. So through code, we can move the smoke line, as I said, from this point to this point, and then play the burst. just like that. Okay. And then that particle will just keep going, or we can turn off looping for that as well. Okay, I think that explains everything for actually picking. So for the exit, well, actually what I need to go over right now is after they pick the money, we'll do the burst, and then we need to turn off orb idle 1 or orb idle 2, whichever one they pick. And then the orb burst actually has a dead image showing that it's not active anymore. So we'll turn off that guy. And so after all the winnings have been earned or won from orb 1, we'll just sit here and make this, will just sit here as a dark orb. But that's only going to work if you turn off the idle. Otherwise it's just going to sit there like that. Okay, that's pretty much the game. And then I have an exit and everything just, I was thinking any remaining orbs that are there, or we can just, you know, shoot all these bursts off at once, make them, and then just turn them off. Incidentally, there's a coin burst silver that's also in the burst that we can shoot off to show winnings. And then the outro, pretty much the same thing, and then we just turn off all the orbs after the burst. And just turn it off or fade out the particle, whichever's easiest in code. Alright.
I've been making a build, but it's locked up on the base build. Like I've got it coming in, but I can't seem to press the button. So I'm trying to figure out why. But I can press it and then edit it.
Yep, that's it. Let me know if you need to add anything to this. Thanks.